Wow, that was exhilarating. Dog sledding, it's one of the fastest growing sports in the United States. What you're about to see is the making of the Can-Am Crown sled dog races. You're gonna get to meet race organizers, handlers, veterinary staff, volunteers, and the people that will show you the craft of mushers, not to mention their beautiful animals. Now sit back and enjoy the ride. Ha! Hop, 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 hop! It all starts in the small Acadian French village of Fort Kent, Maine, on the Canadian border on the banks of the beautiful St. John River. The people that live there are basically French Acadian and a small background of Irish. When you ride down Main Street, you can tell Fort Kent is a typical small town with your pharmacies, banks, furniture stores, restaurants. It just really makes you feel like you're in a nice, almost Western town. Everyone knows everybody in Fort Kent. In fact, when my friends come up from Connecticut and we're driving through town together, everyone's waving at me and they say, geez, you must be the mayor or something. I say, no, it's just the kind of town it is. It's just a friendly kind of town.
What's very special about Fort Kent is that it's a big family. You may move into this town, you may be from another state or from downstate, and you move up here and you realize that, wow, it doesn't take long and these people know you and they'll see you on the street and they wave, and it's very friendly. You know, people will drive by and say, why did that person wave to you? Do you know him? Oh, I've just seen him before, but it's just a courtesy thing and it's a friendly thing.
This started 5 years ago with somebody, it wasn't my idea, but somebody had an idea that this would be a good place to have a dog race, and boy, everybody jumped to that and figured that it would be an excellent place. We have all the conditions, we have the wide open wilderness country to conduct the race in. We have the community effort of the people, the support, everything that we try to do around here. The community is very supportive of these activities. And with the snow conditions and the long winters, we figured, hey, we've got to create something up here that will bring people to Fort Kent, and it's a good outdoor sport. It's a family-oriented sport. It's environmentally safe, it's quiet, it's peaceful, and it's really a great event.
The Can-Am Crown is a series of 3 mid-distance races. We have a Can-Am 30-mile race, which is great for novices and brings in more local people. The Can-Am 60 race takes a little more experienced musher, while the Can-Am 250 brings in a very hardcore musher who is into a long-distance adventure of 4 days.
Is that a big difference to step up from going from a small race to a big race? Have you noticed?
Oh, yeah. It's not a big step. It's one of those ones you got to get a ladder out to go up. It's a whole different game. You know, you got to plan your food drops and strategies for who's going to finish last, me or Doug. Yeah.
Of course, you just don't start the race on Saturday morning. Many details must be ironed out. The veterinarians meet and iron out all their problems with the race marshal and other race officials to make sure everything is just right. Right, but if you have the #1 team pushes themselves real hard, they come in, their dogs look terrible, they drop down, let's say, to a 4 level. Getting 70% of that 300 points, going under 210 points, they could possibly lose the race, the overall race, even though they got 700 points for their finish time. If the second place guy has better dog care, he can win. Dog care is essential in the Can-Am Crown. 30% of our race points come from dog care. Here, our staff of 7 veterinarians work over the team either the night before the race or the morning before the race to make sure every dog is feeling their best before the race. They check feet, they check attitude, they check the dog for hydration, they make sure that they're eating, they make sure that they're rearing to go in the morning before the race.
So the 3 certificates you haven't seen now are ACE, here's ACES, so November, ACE, rabies, and the other stuff. Okay. Atlas's chart, there's his same date, same thing, same event.
Checking his eyes, make sure he's bright and alert and responsive, and checking his gums, make sure they're nice and pink. These gums are moist, that he's not dehydrated. The other thing we do to check his hydration is to just pull up on the skin here on the back, and it should go right back down. That means he's well hydrated. Then check the feet first. Check all the pads, make sure there's no splits or sores, and check for cracks in between the pads and the webbing, in between the toes. And go through some flexion tests, bend his wrist here, make sure it's not painful. Pushing up here puts pressure on his elbow and his shoulder, so if he's painful, he'll show it, and then I can go on and check the shoulder or the elbow further if they show signs of pain. And just repeat that on all four. Hey, thank you.
These mushers come from as far away as Michigan, Ontario, and as close as the county here.
I just love it. I'm from a little town in Michigan, Chatham, and it's predominantly Finnish and Swedish and Norwegian. And to come here and hear the French language spoken and the little differences between the communities, and yet there's a similarity of people being friendly and wonderful, and our host family has treated us just tremendously. I just love it.
Friday evening at 6 o'clock, the mushers meeting begins. Here, rules are ironed out so that everyone is on equal footing for the race which begins the next morning.
Well, we've never run a race this distance before, so this is the longest race we've been in, so our ambition right now is to finish. I think the dogs are ready. We should do reasonably well.
Open their homes and their hearts and bring us in here and treat us like gold, and boy, they just have no complaints. They really are good to us here in Maine, and we really enjoy coming here because of the atmosphere and the people we've met here. This is a good trail. This is a tough race. There's lots of good dog teams here this year, and this is going to be a dynamite race. And we're looking forward to getting her going.
The Main Street start begins at 12 midnight. Here, crews lay buckets and buckets of snow all over Main Street so that we can have a Main Street start. It's not a start out in the middle of the wilderness. It's a start so that people can come into our community and see what it's all about and see teams whipping through Main Street, then heading out into the wilderness.
Looking for a cool getaway this winter? Then make tracks to Ursus County, Maine. We've got 1,600 miles of the best snowmobile trails in the East and countless acres of fields and woods for snowshoeing and cross-country skiing.
There's 18 inches of snow on the way, and it's right here in Ursus County. The trails are in great shape, and with this much snow, we'll be going till the middle of April.
So no matter how it looks outside your window, it looks like snow in Ursus County.
Northland Telephone is proud to present the 1998 Can-Am 250 Dog Sled Race. This exciting event brings together great international teams to face grueling conditions and challenging weather across some of Maine's most wild and scenic terrain. As you've seen, these elite teams race across the frozen landscape at amazing speeds. To see the animal athletes work in harmony with their skilled drivers is a magnificent sight. The Can-Am 250 involves the entire community of Fort Kent, one of the many towns Northland Telephone serves. In the same spirit of pride, cooperation, and innovation, Northland Telephone works to bring a complete range of telecommunications options to our customers. The Can-Am 250 symbolizes the commitment to succeed that we embrace at Northland Telephone. Best wishes and safe passage to all the competitors in this year's Northland Telephone Can-Am 250 Dog Sled Race.
So Jimmy and I'll pick you up. No, I don't always drive. I just drive to Kinder Jim. And I drive to Tiny Tadpoles and Paint Puppies and Happy Campers, Rodeo Rascals, Snow Bunnies, Junior Jesters, Hook and Laddies, Baby Beethoven.
When you drive a Ford Escort, you'll drive any chance you get. And no wonder when you can get the safety and comfort of an Escort with $1,000 cash back or 1.9 financing.
And I drive to Kitty Karaoke, but that's it. Oh, we're late for Goo Goo Golf.
I'll drive. See your Ford dealer today.
I'll drive.
It begins to get busier on Thursday afternoon when the dogs come into town. Everyone begins to feel the surge of excitement, and by Friday, it's almost at a frenzy. Saturday morning, every musher has butterflies in their stomach. They're anticipating what lays ahead of them. The crowd is hysterical by 9 a.m. Here, the governor of Maine gave the first team the send-off.
It's wonderful to be here, and I guess they're going to tell us how to get this thing started. What do we got, about 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
We had 3,000 to 4,000 people lining Main Street, 10 deep for about a half a mile down Main Street. Must have had over 4,000 people. Talk about excitement.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, off!
The race course is set with 4 checkpoints in between where race organizers can check gear and veterinarians can check the dogs. The first stop after Fort Kent is the small enclave of Portage, nestled in the hills on a beautiful wilderness lake. This is 55 miles from Fort Kent, and by this time the dogs still look very spry.
You're just gonna need to stop here a sec to check in, Don. Straight on up. Need to stop just a sec.
Whoa, now. Whoa.
Good run, Don.
Yeah.
Sign right here.
Would you like a bag check here or on in there when you stop?
How far is the?
It's
just around the corner.
around the bend.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I can go around the bend and settle them down a little bit.
First in was Don Hibbs of Millinocket, Maine, followed by the perennial champ Andre Netto, and then the young Mark Fulcher from Bruce Mines, Ontario. Upon arriving in Portage, mushers quickly fed their dogs, vets checked the dogs over, judges checked the gear, and they were quickly out to the next checkpoint.
No, he was 17 minutes behind you. Now he's
Real
20
time.
minutes. Real time.
Yeah, but no. Before you said race time, he was 17 minutes behind.
That was Lloyd Gilbertson. No.
If you had both started at the exact same time,
Yeah.
you gained 17 minutes.
Okay.
You are 17
What I'm
minutes
saying
faster.
is, that was after 20 miles.
Yeah.
And I'm saying in the last 30, if that's him,
Okay.
in the last 35, he's gained on me.
Okay.
See?
He's 20 minutes behind
Because
you
he
now.
started 15 minutes behind
But
me.
if it's Mark, that's
You gotta
so
get ahead
I
of
see,
him,
yeah.
you know?
The time.
Nie in and out? Oui.
Hey, time? 3:15. Yep, we'll get you right around there, Mark. We're coming.
What happened to you since we talked last night?
I got sick last night. I had the flu bad. I was up all night with a bad bug. I don't think you want to hear the details on the camera.
So what's transpired then?
Well, what's transpired is Mark, our handler, a fellow who's lived with us for 2 years, is going to race the team this weekend, and we feel real good. Mark will do as good a job as I would have done. This young lad was 5th in the Marquette 240-mile race 2 weeks ago, so we're real confident in his abilities, and these dogs are rocking. There's a dog race going on. We're real happy, although we're sick.
Come here, Josh, man.
No, sorry. Come here, Joe. Run, Joe.
Come here, Josh, man. Come here. Man, dogs. Easy, Josh, easy. Hey, Army. Good dogs, good dogs. Hey, an Army. Here. Here, Army.
This is it's about 60 miles into the race. They're coming in pretty much to snack and water everybody. We're just watching them come in. make sure nobody's lame, make sure everybody eats and drinks a little bit, make sure everybody's well hydrated. So it's kind of a blow through for the teams. They just kind of stop, regroup a little bit, and then head right back out on the course. First two teams that have come in have looked great. No lamenesses, everybody's well hydrated, tails are wagging, and everybody seems pretty happy.
This race is incredible. The people are so nice, and the volunteers are wonderful. There's lots of volunteer help here. It's not like a lot of races where they're begging people to come, you know, and help out. This race, people just come from everywhere to help out, and they love to watch, and it's really a very high-spirited race.
Well, I figure it's about a 8-mile-an-hour trail. That's pretty slow for but I imagine there'll be people doing it slower, but I see there's some doing it faster too.
Very much team sport, very much. Everybody's got a pull. We like to run two teams, especially when you're isolated like we are. There aren't a lot of teams in our area, so we like to practice passing and doing a lot of practice for the dogs running into other teams, you know, coming head on or doing other things so that they know what to come into when they come against other dogs.
I started in 2-quart pot.
Fire starter in here. We have the 2-quart pot.
Okay,
yes.
Right. Headlamp and spare batteries.
Here's the headlamp and batteries.
That's here.
And the other headlamp and
Okay,
batteries.
spare batteries. Yes.
Okay, I saw the
You
first
saw the first aid?
2-day dog food supply.
Those bags down there.
2-day mushers food supply.
Where did he keep his food? Maybe in here.
There's food. He's got an old burnout hot dog. Would that be acceptable for 2 days?
8 booties per dog at start, I think.
Yeah, that's okay.
The sleeping bag.
Right here, yes?
Yep.
Okay, and axe for both saw.
Axe or saw?
Here's the axe.
Axe.
Okay,
Got
axe,
it?
yes.
Okay.
Cable tethers. Tie
The chains are in this.
In which one?
The zipper, front zipper of this thing.
Right in here?
Okay. Okay. There are signal flares.
That is in the first aid kit.
Okay.
Mary,
okay.
yep.
Here we go.
Maine, a special place to 1 million Mainers, but home to countless wildlife. At International Paper, we have a great responsibility to protect the places they call home. That's why our foresters have developed strict environmental standards to protect water quality and wildlife habitat. Our 1 million acres of forest just wouldn't be the same without our wildlife. We respect that they were here first.
Up here, winter comes early every year, as it has since the time of our ancestors. And up here, we know how to stay warm and dry. We wear these sorrel boots. They've been making them by hand for 86 years. Rugged, waterproof, good to 100 below. They last for years. This is good when you're as young as I. As we say in our language, ayete ege, be warm and dry.
Hot dogs. Jordan's hot dogs. How do you like your Jordan's hot dog?
With mustard,
ketchup,
relish,
salsa, melted cheese, and hot sauce.
How about tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil?
Or chili with beans, chopped onions, cheddar cheese, and hot peppers.
There's a Jordan's hot dog for everyone's taste, no matter how exotic or how simple. Jordan's, quality since 1927.
Looking for a cool getaway this winter? Then make treks to Aroostook County, Maine. We've got 1,600 miles of the best snowmobile trails in the East and countless acres of fields and woods for snowshoeing and cross-country skiing.
There's 18 inches of snow on the way, and it's right here in Aroostook County. The trails are in great shape, and with this much snow, we'll be going till the middle of April.
So no matter how it looks outside your window, it looks like snow in Aroostook County.
Point number 2 is Rocky Brook, an old logging camp deep in the North Maine wilderness. When the leading mushers arrived in Rocky Brook, they come in the middle of night. Here, they sank up probably up to their waist because there was no cars or plows to plow the area at Rocky Brook. Only snowmobiles were able to make it in there. Here, they took many took a mandatory 8-hour layover where they're able to rest their dogs so they can head to checkpoint number 3.
It's okay, it's okay.
Does he have to sign anything, sir?
It's okay.
Attends, tu dois signer.
J'ai signé 2 fois.
Pour le chien. Do you have it?
Yeah.
Is it that form?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Okay.
Okay,
C'est bon.
thank you.
C'est bon. Good luck, André.
Hagenman, kid, Sergeant.
Okay. Well, Andre came in, and we had a little bit of trouble at the start trying to get his dog turned around, and he didn't want to spend too much time here. He wanted to blow out of here and go to the next checkpoint. I guess he feels his dogs are looking good, and they did look pretty good. They looked like they still had a lot of energy left. He decided to drop a dog here. The dog was a little lame in the front left shoulder.
You saw Andre just turned around and left, eh?
Yeah.
Crazy guy.
Don Hibbs is in, and Keith Pepler's team, although it's his handler that's substituted for him. I guess he was sick today, and that's about it.
Well, what time did they come in?
9:20 for the first one.
He's gone?
9:20 for the first one.
He went out without
and
9:53
for the second one. 9:23 for the first one. 9:53 for the second.
It's the first time I've ever run this race. I'm a DD right now. I'm just a handler. And my Keith Pepler, who I handle for, just got sick this morning. So I had to run dogs this morning for him. I raced 2 weekends ago in Marquette, Michigan, the UP 200. We got 5th there, and then that was the only race we did this year so far. We've been training since the 2nd week in August. Just train. I don't know, we started out with 30 dogs, and this is the best 10. Well, best 12, I guess.
It's not really that cold, just because I think it's cool to learn about how these people are doing this, staying up for one night. It really doesn't seem to be all that much after some of these mushers are out here for a lot longer than that. I just like to see how they do it, I guess. Oh, I think they're tough and brave and courageous, and I think it takes a lot to do what they do, and I admire them for that.
Plenty of snow, that's for sure.
How was your ride?
That was a good ride, a little wet. Hopefully I'll be able to dry out. I think I'll be doing my 8 hours here so that I can dry out.
How's the trail?
trail's excellent. This last stretch was wonderful. The first part of the trail into Portage was a little punchy, but this stretch right here was gorgeous.
How your dogs doing?
Dogs are holding up very, very well. I've got some young ones. It's their first long race, and they're doing real, real well.
How are you holding up?
I'm a little wet and tired, I got to admit, but I think my hydration's staying okay, and we'll do all right.
These dogs live for this stuff. They love this stuff. They're a little tired now. They've had a big day. But boy, they're in good shape. After 8 hours of sleeping, they might be a little stiff when they first get up, but after that, these guys are jumping right straight up in the air, howling. It's the nicest thing. They're doing exactly what they want to do. They live for this stuff. Yeah. Friendly guys. Look at this one here. This man can't get to it quite right.
Where can I get some hot water? Actually, where is there a place where the mushers hang out?
Right in there.
Your water is up in front of the team. I can go get that for you right
There's no hot water, but we got a 5-gallon jug for you.
Okay, is it cold, real cold?
It's cold. Yeah, it's cold. Been outside.
So I better heat it up.
Yeah, you'll have to heat.
Okay, I'll go get.
Checkpoint number 3 is a very large logging camp owned by Maybec of Quebec. Here, Andre Neto arrived first after blowing through Rocky Brook without taking his 8-hour layover. Here, he was hoping to catch some time on Don Hibbs and Mark Fulcher, who did their 8-hour at Rocky Brook.
Yeah. Where, right here?
Well, drop it in different piles.
Okay. Okay.
Here.
Andre, how your dogs running, buddy? Need a translator.
Yeah.
Get Sorrel over here. Somebody take the front. Bring Sorrel over here.
Cyril, we need a translator.
8 hour, eh? 8 hour.
Yes.
8 hour.
Yeah,
he wants his
layover. He's declaring yes.
Thanks, Al.
Okay. Well, we have a variety of things to do. Got in and got ourselves squared away, and then we made a big pot of stew and a casserole dish and got some food ready just in case anybody wants to eat, and then we warm that up for whoever comes. And now Andre came in and we checked him in. We're in the process of checking him in time and check his sled and all the equipment and things. And then the handlers helped to bring the trucks, or bring the water and the food and whatever from there and the straw. And then we just do whatever we need to do. And then when they're ready to go, when they're all set and all lined up, then we all help to get them out and around and started on the route to go across. We have to cross them across a road and get on to the other side of the road.
Really bad snowstorm there for a while.
Earlier.
I got lost on a lake.
Really?
Yeah, I took the wrong turn. I couldn't see.
Do you have any problems?
Oh, just at the I just had the headlamp go out on me at the end. I came upon my friend George there. He had no light at all. I gave him my backup. He had I guess he had a batch of defective lithiums. So that when my main one gave out, I put in my backup and it was defective. So it's almost like you gotta have several sets of everything to get something that works.
Why do you do this?
I don't know, tell me. I ask myself that every time I'm doing this. I don't know, that's a good question. I don't think I can give you a good answer. It's addictive.
I had people from Boston out for an excursion 2 weeks ago. And she's a bit of a thrill seeker, and she says to me, I had a choice. Either go to Jamaica, sit on the beach, or I think it's Jamaica, sit on the beach for 10 days, or go dog sledding. She drove all the way to Camelford, Ontario, and went dog sledding with me for a weekend. So, well, everybody wants to do this.
It ain't a good look, you know.
You gotta be tough. It's a lot of work, and the dogs always come first. And if anything ever goes wrong, it's never the dog's fault, it's our fault. we learn from them. And when I started out, it took, some of these dogs have run before, and never having a female musher, it took them almost a full year and a half, 2 years just to learn to trust me, because I was just learning. So they knew I was a beginner, they knew for sure. Now this year it's really smooth going, very smooth. They trust me a lot. We go, we have a great time.
We're the end of the pack, so
What
we're
I'm
having
trying
fun.
I'm trying to delay him so he gets a late start. That's the strategy.
Talk to me about that. There's two levels here. You know, here's this big competition to come in first. I got to win, and obviously you guys are a little bit behind the rest of the pack. Where's your mindset at with that?
Finishing. Just finishing the race with healthy dogs. That's my main goal.
Just as much fun when you're in the back as when you're in the front?
Look, we had fun in there. The other guys, they're all... They're not having fun. We're having fun. Yeah, they got ulcers and headaches.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not bad back here. You stay poor, but what's new? I mean, once you're there, you get used to it. It's not a bad thing.
Let's start with the brewmaster for just a moment. The brewmaster is the chef, and that is the key brewmaster role, to understand the blending of his or her ingredients. Not only he or she tastes the beer every day, there's another person who tastes the beer every day, and that is me. The ability to have hands-on brewmasters working with the finest ingredients gives you Budweiser. How do you catch a new Ski-Doo snowmobile? Come in during Spring Break 98 and make your best deal. Now, Ski-Doo dealers have special incentives on many sleds, including the all-new Formula 3 700, MXZ 670, and Mach-Z. Because of limited availability on select models, now's the best chance to get the sled you want. Plus, you'll see special edition sleds that are only sold now. Winter rules at your Ski-Doo dealer. See your Maine, New Hampshire Ski-Doo Association dealer or call 1-800-9-SKI-DOO.
Northland Telephone is proud to present the 1998 Can-Am 250 Dog Sled Race. This exciting event brings together great international teams to face grueling conditions and challenging weather across some of Maine's most wild and scenic terrain. As you've seen, these elite teams race across the frozen landscape at amazing speeds. To see the animal athletes work in harmony with their skilled drivers is a magnificent sight. The Can-Am 250 involves the entire community of Fort Kent, one of the many towns Northland Telephone serves. In the same spirit of pride, cooperation, and innovation, Northland Telephone works to bring a complete range of telecommunications options to our customers. The Can-Am 250 symbolizes the commitment to succeed that we embrace at Northland Telephone. Best wishes and safe passage to all the competitors in this year's Northland Telephone Can-Am 250 Dog Sled Race.
Equipment in dog sledding is very unique. You need either a cable or some type of synthetic line to hold your team together so you can pull your team. In the center is something called a gang line. It basically allows all the weight to be distributed to your sled so that you can get pulled. Okay, hooking the dogs to the gang line is a tug line. This is where all the weight is being pulled from. Okay, keeping the dogs in line so they don't go off to the side is the neck line. It hooks up to their collar. Also here, you notice that they have a padded harness, okay, which also have reflectors on them so they can be seen at night very well. And that distributes the pulling power so that the weight is evenly distributed all over their body and pulled from the rear. The sled is the most important part of your equipment. On your sled, believe it or not, there is also a brake, which you step on with your foot and dig into the ground for when you want to stop. This is an average brake made out of aluminum. This one's in kind of shabby shape here, but most of them have carbide tips. These have come off so that you can dig into ice. Often they have a fin over here so you can get, when you dig it into the snow, it really gets more surface area and stops better. This one is fine for a small team, but for a team of 12 dogs, you wouldn't stop for beans. You also have something, okay, called a hook, okay? This allows you to stop anywhere, stick it into the snow. That's your snow hook. Very important, also very sharp. You wouldn't want to get impaled by that baby. Okay, you also have something called the snub line. If you're going to stay for any length of time, you can take your snub line off, wrap it around a tree, and then you're camping out for as long as you want. Because sometimes a snow hook can come out. You also have a sled bag that you can put all your gear in. The sled bag is also, you can put a struggling dog, maybe a dog that isn't feeling well, you can put inside of your bag. Also, all your goodies could be handy. I have another little bag back here where I put food in for me, a first aid kit, a knife if I need it, or anything else that's needed. I need to get at real quick is in this little ditty bag on the back. Also, there's a pair of handlebars you can hold on for dear life when you're whipping around those corners.
N1CGV, net control. This is KC1SC. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a weather report from St. Francis. Out that way, it's 40 degrees and it's raining.
Okay, I guess we're still getting a little bit of drizzle down here. We're hearing rain up in the Maybeck area too, so not good for the dogs, that's for sure. Okay, very well. Appreciate the update. Thank you very much, Cheryl. This is KC1SC, Rocky Brook.
From checkpoint 2 to checkpoint 3, race conditions were very soggy indeed. It must have rained about a half an inch during that stretch. The race trail was very punchy and very slow. Mushers who came through early had an easier time, but mushers who were in the second pack found conditions to be terrible. Dogs sunk up halfway up to their elbows in very deep trail, and some of them took almost twice as long to make it through that stretch of the trail.
Hi, guys.
Where's the trail out? Hut, hut, hut. Lead out now. Whoa, boys. Hey, John. I got two females in heat. They're going to turn around. Could you hold them? Good.
While Andre Netto is taking his 8-hour layover and resting, Don Hibbs of Maine comes in and leaves very shortly. At this point, he has a 2-hour lead.
Let me give a snap first, okay?
Yeah. I'll just do everything that I can see.
How has the rain affected the trail?
The trail's actually okay.
So is it real punchy now?
No, I mean, the first 10 miles coming out of Rocky Brook, I had to ride the brake. I mean, they were ripping. And then it started to soften up a little bit. But it's about the same as it was last night. It's okay so far. What's the weather?
What's the weather? It's supposed to stay like this and then turn back to snow. Who knows when. Did you think you made a good decision taking the 8-hour Rocky Brook? Excellent.
You want hot water?
No, I'm just going to give him a snack.
Don't want one. Food
How many
bag?
miles to, well, gosh, it's 50? 55. What kind of trail is it?
It's going to be possibly the worst stretch as far as pack. It was broken last. It's been worked on a lot, but it could be the worst stretch of trail. After Don Hibbs of Maine, Mark Fulcher pulls in a half an hour later, followed by Paul Boudreau of Quebec and Lloyd Gilbertson of Michigan.
I think he has a fair edge right here at this point. Matter of fact, in talking to Don, he doesn't even think that there's a problem at all. He thinks that he's got, Andre's not his competitor. The competitor is this 17-year-old Mark Fulcher who's coming right in here very shortly. We expect him in here. And he's the guy who's pushing Don Hibbs right now. He's a guy lightweight, 130 pounds, and a good musher. Just finished that 250-mile race down in the States earlier there. And yeah, he's the guy who's pushing Don Hibbs at this point.
You think Don's a little scared of this kid?
Don's a smart musher too, so he's not. No, I don't think he's scared. I think he's just not going to make any mistakes. But he's a seasoned musher too, and that's going to be his bonus for sure.
How'd it go, Mark? All right, Mark.
All right, man. How you feeling?
This is a fabulous race. I mean, the work that the people went in to just put that trail in is just incredible. I mean, we can complain about what Mother Nature does, but it's really, we wouldn't be going anywhere without all that work that they had done there. The competition is great. You see Don Hibbs out there, he's maintaining a 10-mile-per-hour pace in this stuff like this. I don't know what he's doing. He's got wings on their feet, I think, and he doesn't show any signs of slowing down. He's a real top-notch dog man, and a lot of other people here too.
This race has got so much appeal that my wife and I drove over 10 hours down here just to be a what's it say, a volunteer, because last year we ran it. It's just an awesome race. The people are great. And the prize money is excellent this year too. We have a young team. Otherwise, we would have been here again this year. And it's just one of the #1 races on the circuit. And it's real exciting to be here now as a volunteer too, watching the other teams come through. And I picked up some points this year now, and we'll bump up as we come in the following.
Don Hibbs, he's from Millnocket, Maine, team number 3. He's the first one to depart Maybeck, and he just left at 8:37 this morning. So Andre Netto checked into to Maybeck last night, but he had to do his 8-hour layover there, and I think he can only leave Maybeck somewhere around 10:30 because he has to do that mandatory layover. So that puts Hibbs about a couple hours ahead of Andre Netto at this point.
Leaders leaving Maybeck moved on and pushed on to Allagash, 55 miles to the north. That is the 4th and last checkpoint. At Allagash, a mandatory 4-hour layover is needed for dogs to rest and for mushers to prepare for the last leg into Fort Kent.
We invite you to discover Tom Seymour's Nature's Garden. Can you identify the difference between a fiddlehead and a non-edible fern? Did you know about the remedy for poison ivy itch? Or have you ever made flour from cattails? Did you know about making fritters from elderberries? Or that the tubular from the daylily were a tasty delight? For only $19.95 plus shipping and handling, you can take this walk with Tom and finish by putting a tasty meal on your dinner table.
Fort Kent, Maine. It may seem you're headed to the end of the world, but once you arrive, you've found winter paradise. Fort Kent, Maine, host of the Can-Am Sled Dog Races, invites you February 27th to 29th. Bring your skis, your sleds, and your family. We provide the entertainment and the best snow you've ever seen. Fort Kent, Maine, heart of the Northeast snowmobiling and skiing country. Enjoy the great outdoors and return home with a lifetime memory. Made for you in Fort Kent, Maine.
3 races that we run. The first race is the 250-mile race. We go all the way south for 55 miles, then we turn west for another 90 miles. We turn back north for about 55 miles, and then we come back to Fort Kent about 60 miles. We've got to maintain all those trails. They're through wooded areas. They're our own private trails, no snowmobile trails, no plowed roads. We also have a 60-mile race which runs, takes off from Fort Kent and runs to St. Francis area, which is about 30 miles up the trail in this direction. Then it runs south and back east to Fort Kent. Those are all private trails, again, that we maintain. No snowmobile trails. So at times it can be rough going, a lot of tree boughs that have to be pruned back, brush that every once in a while leans into the trail and we have to either cut it down or shake off the snow. This year we've had extreme snow conditions, so we've been out on the trails now for almost 3 weeks straight, every day, working on them. Grooming, packing after every snowstorm.
Leaders leaving Mayebec moved on and pushed on to Allagash, 55 miles to the north. That is the fourth and last checkpoint. At Allagash, a mandatory 4-hour layover is needed for dogs to rest and for mushers to prepare for the last leg into Fort Kent.
I'm a handler, so I'll help prepare food for when they get in and watch these dogs that aren't racing anymore, have everything ready that they may need, have the mushers ready, make sure he's got stuff to drink when he comes in and eat when he comes in, and just help him out so when he gets in he can get some rest himself.
I mean, I'm sure like in any other place there are people that abuse dogs like they abuse children, and hopefully the ones who love the dogs will report if it's ever seen. I've never seen it yet, but I'd be one of the first ones to report it. Now, you have to love your dogs have to love you to do this for you. I mean, they love it naturally, but they won't work for you unless, you know, you give something back. You gotta be kind. They just love you. They just want your attention. They just want you to spend some time with them. They don't ask for anything, just you know, just spend some good time with them. They'll give you their heart if you're good to them, yeah.
The big interest. Oh, I don't know. You get that adrenaline flowing when you come over a hill. You get into those dog fights every now and then. You know, it's big surprise all the time. You never know what's going to happen.
I think women are very good mushers. I think that anytime you go into a task, I think men and women tend to do things differently, and I think women are very good problem solvers, and I think they tend to be strong in the nurturing and interpersonal relationship areas. And I think even though sometimes we lack in upper body strength, we solve our problems differently, and we work at having alternative solutions. And so I think that men and women are equally good mushers.
Hey, good job.
The second pack of mushers decided to wait until evening because the weather was crazy during Sunday afternoon at Mayebec. It started off with rain, and in a 5-minute period, the rain turned to hail, then to snow. So racers took an extra 4 hours at Mayebec and then moved on to Allagash at night. Now the trail was firm and fast.
Up to this checkpoint here in Allagash, they've gone over 200 miles. They have about 50 to go for this Can-Am 250 here. So it's good that they got this weather right now with only 50 miles to go. If they would have had this the whole time, most of them would have probably dropped out. But with 50 miles to go, with the quality of mushers we have here and the quality of dogs, they can pull it out.
After a mandatory 4-hour layover, Don Hibbs and the rest of the pack hit the trail to Fort Kent.
Yeah, right here. Right here. Be there.
The first stretch of trail from Allagash to Fort Kent is a 13-mile stretch of snowmobile trail, which is very quick. After hitting that, there was only 35 miles to Fort Kent. Here there was varied terrain on the Wallagrass River basin. Then the last 10 miles to Fort Kent was incredibly tough, winding up through hills and valleys till finally mushers hit the top of this hill where the lights of Fort Kent can be seen, where Don Hibbs arrived just after midnight, the first Maine champion in the 5-year event.
Oh, I think it's a great event. I mean, it's a good distance. There's a lot of strategy. It's an interesting way they set up the race. I think it's a nice course, a big loop like that. There's a lot of support and enthusiasm from local people. I mean, there's not too many events like this in Eastern North America. I think it's terrific. Oh, I want to thank my wife for tolerating me coming and going at all hours of the day and night. And my handler over here, Sean Todman, he seems to be always there when I need him, right, Sean? Yeah, Don, I'm right here. And last and not least, all the people who put on this race. I was just thinking about it coming in the last mile. All the work involved, just this last couple of miles, all the barricades and signs. It's an incredible amount of work. And you think it's 240 miles. That's really incredible. They don't get any glory or check.
Hey, Joe. Keep going. All right.
Okay, Mark, we're going to take you right around here. We're going to hook up to the bank. Go up there. We're going to put the hook.
Come on, dogs away. Come on, dogs to the right. Hey, we're just going to go right here, hook them around the corner. You can do the check right here.
Well, we left home on Thursday morning, coming down here to run the 250, and did all the entering and the driver's meeting and everything. And Friday night I got sick, so Saturday morning Mark got on the runners.
I bet you're pretty proud of him.
Yeah, we're real proud of him. Mark's lived with us for a couple years now, and you know, he's done a real good job with the dogs, and you know, he's a good musher. This sport has a good future with a good young guy like this running dogs.
Any advice you'd give Mark on his race?
Yeah, get going. Keep her going. No, I don't have to say too much. He knows the program. When he's running the dogs, we listen to him. We're not talking to him. He's talking to us, telling us what he wants done.
It must be nice to have a good team too, huh?
Yeah, these Mark and his twin brother Paul have worked real hard with these dogs this year, and it's nice to see it pay off. And you know, these guys get rewarded by what these dogs have done today.
How about you, Mark? Do you enjoy working with the dogs?
Oh yeah, I like working with the dogs.
It was every kind of weather imaginable. I thought I had all 4 seasons, Maine seasons. I had a rainstorm, I had sunshine and hot weather, I had hail, I had snow. And then when I got into the checkpoint there, I went to sleep and I dreamed about king-size mosquitoes. So I had it all, even though I made some of it up.
I didn't rest them long enough at Allagash. I don't think I rested them long enough. I went out, I guess it was about 15 miles, and they looked at me and said, that's it, we're taking a nap. So if I rested 2 more hours, I think I would have made it without having to break. But about 10 miles into it, 15 miles into it, you're going, damn, I'm never going to finish this. I don't want to ever do this again. Anybody got my dogs? And the next minute you're going, man, is this a nice thing to do. I hope I can stay out here for about a week. And then you get downpoured on, you say, what the hell am I doing out here? And the next hour you're going, geez, the stars are out, and it's about 20 degrees, going, boy, isn't this a nice trail? It's up and down, up and down. It's crazy.
What happens in some of these races, especially major races like this, yes, we have to run with sleep. So you have priorities that we've taken care of. Like I said at the beginning of the driver's meeting, it is very important that these animals and the welfare and the safety of the animal drivers are cared for. So I ensure that these teams, all the logistics are arranged before we have some sleep. If that means going 2 days without sleep, we will do that. And we'll grab an hour's sleep here and there so that everything has to be performed, that no dangers happens out there to the animal as well as to the drivers.
How long are your days?
Well, the last couple of days have been straight days all the way through. We managed to get about an hour sleep here, an hour there, and that's how we managed that. and we keep going till it's time to call it quits. Once the race will be over.
Feel sleepy, fall asleep on your sled. your head goes down and your hands clutch your sled, and sometimes you'll fall off. Not too often does that happen, though. People hallucinate. They aren't usually real spectacular ones, but yeah, you'll just hallucinate.
Seems like a lot of dogs at racing is also about sleep deprivation.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Tell me about it. How it is.
Do they lose their flexibility? Well, you know, you start off stupid and you get dumber and dumber as you go along. And you got a good excuse.
What do you think about during those times? I mean, to keep yourself on the sled and not falling off, I mean, do you imagine things or?
You see things. You see things, imagine things, and you think about things, and you listen to some really bad music in your head over and over again, and strange things like that.
What were some of the surprises you found out on the trail?
A lot of them. Surprises. Basically, things on the trail that would come up, you know, while you're daydreaming. You know, you're just out there going, you know, and all of a sudden, bridge, whoa! You know, open water, whoa! You know, you're just not thinking. You know, so that'll keep you going.
Well, sleep deprivation is that funny thing. It's called Never Never Land, you know. And we, when you're out there, these guys are all going through it. They're coming in and out of it, and when they're super tired, they're kind of playing with it, you know. They doing anything they can to keep themselves awake, but they're kind of so tired that they're going in and out of it. And it's a natural high. It's just kind of one of those funny things in life that you don't see until you run on no sleep for 2 or 3 days, and it's a rush.
This program has been sponsored in part by Bowater, Great Northern Paper Company. We've always managed to take the long view.